Hey everyone, and welcome to another explainer. Let's just dive right into this because we have a lot of ground to cover. If you're a focused learner, a solopreneur, or a small business founder, you've probably felt the absolute crush of overwhelming AI tools. I mean, everybody says AI is the future, right? Yet for most solopreneurs, trying to actually implement it feels like taking on a chaotic second full-time job. Well, today we are unpacking the ultimate blueprint for translating all that overwhelming noise into a single automated operating system for your solo business. We're going to break down exactly how to use just 6 foundational skills to scale your business using Claude.
So I want you to honestly ask yourself right now, are you using AI to actually scale? Or has it just become another exhausting task on your endless to-do list? The truth is, most entrepreneurs are completely failing to get real ROI from artificial intelligence right now because they're treating it like a chore. You log in, you ask a question, you tweak an email, and then, well, you start entirely from scratch the very next day. Instead of freeing up your time, AI just feels like extra work.
Look, if you're feeling burned out by it, that is entirely valid. Based on the source material we're looking at today, there are some very specific limiting beliefs that are stopping founders from scaling without hiring a massive team. You might be worried about trust and accuracy, because let's face it, AI can make some incredibly confident mistakes. Or you might just be paralyzed by tool overload, thinking you need dozens of expensive apps to make this work. Maybe you have this deep-seated fear of losing your distinct brand voice, and honestly, for most people, there's just no clear starting point. To solve this, here is our roadmap for today to help you shift from AI overwhelm to a fully automated business system. We're covering the AI task trap, your minimalist tech stack, foundation and skill stacking, content and email engines, operations and delivery systems, and finally, the solo team reality.
Okay, starting right off with part 1, the AI task trap. This is the absolute core mistake almost all founders make when trying to bring AI into their workflow.
That ultimate mistake? It's using AI like a calculator. Think about it. When you use a calculator, you're doing one calculation or task at a time. It literally requires you to be right there in the room, typing the prompt, connecting the dots, and refreshing the screen every single time. Instead, what we need here is a total paradigm shift. You need to build an AI operating system. An OS runs on skills that stack together, feeding off one another, and executing really complex tasks even while you're away from your computer.
Which brings us nicely to section 2, your minimalist tech stack, because I know what you're probably thinking. Building a whole operating system sounds incredibly technical, right?
Well, let's shatter that myth right now. You absolutely do not need to be a developer to scale. Just look at traditional scaling. You hire a team, it costs anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month, training is painfully slow, and nobody really likes doing repetitive tasks anyway. Now compare that to the new reality. To build this AI operating system, you literally only need 2 tools, Claude, acting as your AI brain, and Notion, acting as your workspace to organize the outputs. That's it. It's a minimalist tech stack that costs maybe $20 to $100 a month, basically the price of a couple streaming subscriptions, and it executes instantly.
So, what is absolutely crucial here is understanding what we mean when we use the word skill. A skill is simply a set of rules, saved right inside Claude. It's like handing an ironclad standard operating procedure to an eager, tireless new hire. You literally tell Claude, hey, whenever I ask you to write a carousel, follow these exact 5 writing rules, structure it in 10 slides, and use this specific brand tone. By setting this up just one time, you permanently replace repetitive human tasks without ever sacrificing the quality of your output.
And to run your entire operation smoothly, you only need to build these 6 interconnected skills. The first 2 set up your digital environment, while the next 4 are the powerhouse engines that run your marketing, operations, and client fulfillment. Let's break those down.
Moving into section 3, foundation and skill stacking. This is where we lay the concrete for your AI business.
All right, so skill 1 is your foundation. This means setting up isolated Claude projects for the different departments of your business, like, say, a social media project, and then linking it to a Notion workspace to actually file the work. Doing this completely prevents AI amnesia because your AI always knows its exact specific job. Then we have skill 2, stacking. Honestly, this is where the magic really happens. You aren't just using one isolated skill anymore, you're combining them. For example, you trigger a skill to write a sales letter, and then you immediately trigger a second skill to cross-verify it to ensure it doesn't sound like generic AI. They literally work together like a specialized team.
Next up is section 4, content and email engines. Once that base is set, it's time to build the actual revenue-generating engines of your automated system.
Think of these 2 skills as your entire marketing department. Skill 3 is your content system.
Imagine never having to start a social media post from scratch ever again. You just drop a raw idea into Claude, and your pre-saved skill automatically formats it into high-quality carousels, short video scripts, and posts. Pretty awesome, right? Then skill 4 is your email engine. This automatically generates your weekly newsletters and complex sales letters, all perfectly matched to your distinct voice. You are basically transitioning from that exhausting treadmill of content creation to just quickly reviewing and approving high-quality assets.
Now for Section 5, Operations and Delivery Systems. Let's look at how the AI flawlessly handles your back-end organization and client deliverables.
Skill 5, Ops and Calendar, is fascinating. In the source material we're pulling from, the creator notes that while he was giving a live presentation on a Sunday night, his Claude system was just quietly running in the background, automatically compiling his entire weekly business report so it would be ready for him first thing Monday morning. I mean, talk about eliminating Monday morning chaos. And then skill 6 is your delivery stack. This means your AI knows exactly how to structure your seminars, your client documentation, and your slide decks, just like the ones we're using in this explainer right now, customized perfectly to your brand.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 6, the solo team reality. What are the actual, tangible business outcomes of implementing all of this?
$3,000. I really want that number to sink in for a second. According to the source, this is the remarkably low monthly operating expense required to run a fully automated solo business that is currently generating upwards of $600,000 in revenue. By offloading 80% of the repetitive, non-thinking tasks to an AI operating system, you entirely bypass the massive overhead traditionally needed to hit that kind of scale.
And what about 8 hours? The source shares this super powerful case study of a solopreneur who is absolutely frazzled, working a crushing 80-hour workload every single week. But by implementing these skills one by one, she dropped her hours down to just 8 hours a week. 8. She reclaimed her life, drastically improved her client experience, and built an infrastructure that can genuinely scale. So how do you actually get there? Well, this timeline outlines the exact 6-week intensive process to integrate this system from scratch. Week 1 is all about setting your foundation, which allows Week 2 to stack your skills. That paves the way for Weeks 3 and 4 to completely automate your marketing, content, and emails. And finally, Weeks 5 and 6 lock in your back-end operations and client delivery stack. Basically, it takes about 6 weeks of focused effort to reclaim years of your time.
I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. The era of using AI to just rewrite a quick email is completely over. The question isn't whether AI is going to change business. It already has. The real question is, will your business compound with an AI operating system working flawlessly in the background, or are you going to keep running on that treadmill, competing against solopreneurs who already have one? Stop using AI as a calculator and start building your operating system today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.